Now I know this is my third wet fly in a row, but I'm still on my educational adventure of getting better fishing wet flies. The first two were distinctly different. We did an old school soft hackle with a partridge and hare's ear, and then one of Dave Hughes' flimps. But today's pattern, it's different still. I found it in Ray Bergman's Trout. Now, I couldn't find a history on this thing, but we know it's at least older than 1938. And it's unique for a wet fly in that it doesn't use a soft hackle, it actually uses a rooster feather in a furnace. Now, Bergman did say this thing could be tied as a dry fly. You'd probably just put a few more hackle wraps on it and you wouldn't sweep them back like I'm about to do. It is a pretty sleek design. Thin body, no tail, and I picked this one because I think it's going to be dense enough that it will sink, but it could still be fished as a dropper, say under a 12 or 14 elk hair caddis. But I'm sure it can be fished actively as part of a 2 wet fly rig as well. And I'm going to try the same thing on the Savage River this weekend that I did on the Gunpowder last weekend, and that's go minimalist. 1 fly box, all wet flies, and just stay out there until I can figure it out. I'll let you know how it goes. So there it is in the vise, an orange fish hawk tied wet fly style. Now that head's just a little bit lumpy right there. We'll see if we can't do a better job on this one right here. Now this is a size 12, 1 extra long, 1 extra strong, barbless wet fly hook. And I'm going to use some orange thread to begin with. Now orange or white would work, you just don't want to use black. And I'm going to put a layer down and then go back up and back down to just really cover this hook. Now the rib I'm going to use, Mylar tinsel, size 16-18, which is about a small. And I'm going to want the gold showing, so I'll catch it in with the gold side toward the hook, just up here at the front. Couple of wraps, keep it out of the way. And now we're going to catch in the orange floss. This is a uni, it's a 1 ply, but it should be fine because I'm really wanting a pretty thin body here. If you had a 4 ply floss, I would probably strip it and just use 1, maybe 2 of the strands. So we're going to take this back, both of these at the same time. It'll just help keep our underbody smoother. Now I'm just going to wrap this floss and I'm going to let it lay a little bit flat. Since we've got a lot of that orange thread underneath, we don't really have to worry about it getting wet and then anything dark underneath showing. Okay, that body isn't perfect, but it's smooth enough. Now on the rib, I'm going to put a couple wraps in the back just to get a little bit of a tag. Make sure I got my gold showing. If you can't, just make it a silver body. It's not going to be that big of a difference. I've tied 3 of these tonight and I think I got it right on 1 of them. So can you tell that silver? Yeah, you can definitely tell, but you know what? I'm not going to fuss with it. I'm going to just use the silver. All right, now here's where you have an option. You can go ahead and tie in the hackle and then change your thread color after it, or use a marker and color it. What I've been doing, I think it's just a little bit easier. Just go ahead and catch it off here with a 3-turn whip finish. And then start some black thread right here. Now this is easy to do. I think it's easier to do if you've got 2 bobbins, one of them the color you're using, and then I always have a bobbin holder threaded with my black 70 denier. And now I'm ready to catch in my furnace hackle. And this is a pretty small feather, but it's still going to put down some pretty long barbs, but that's okay. We're going to sweep them back, wet fly style. And I'm going to try and catch it in concave side down. I'm leaving, I'm hoping I'm going to get some of that black bar in the middle showing that, makes the fly look a little bit, more like it was intended to. You want some of that black showing here. And we're not going to put too many wraps. It's not going to put a whole lot of fibers down. And according to Bergman, just, you know, you can tie it as a dry fly and just don't sweep these feathers back, maybe put a couple extra wraps. So I'm gonna keep it pretty sparse. I think that was 3 wraps. You can tell these barbs are kind of long, but it's gonna be fine in just a second. So I'll lick my fingers and just try to pull everything back right here. I'm gonna ramp my head back, and you might have to take this pretty far back to get these really swept back. If you just go a little bit back, it's still gonna look like a dry fly, so make a big head if you need to. So I think we're gonna be fine right there. I got a little bit of mess in my thread right there. Should I worry about that? Nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and whip finish it. And do we have any cleanup with this guy? Nah, I could probably clean it up a little bit, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna put some head cement on it, put this thing in my wet fly box. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.